Hello there. Welcome to my live stream. Um, if you're new here, I'm Shania. Thank you so much for joining me. I am doing a live stream challenge for 21 days, and today is day 14, I believe it is. And yesterday I spoke about some different sewing gift ideas that you could get for someone that's interested in sewing. And today I'll just be sharing some sewing resources, such as like TV shows and movies and podcasts and things like that that are related to fashion and sewing and both. Um, and I'm not going to stay too long because I need to rest. So let me go ahead and dive into it. And I may be looking off screen because I have my notes elsewhere. Okay, so if you are someone who likes to sew and you like to, um, fill yourself with like sewing things, I'm going to start with some sewing TV shows that I recommend. And I haven't seen all of them, but just I did some research and this is what I found. Um, so the first show, of course, goes without saying, is Project Runway, which honestly I've only seen like one episode of Project Passion, which I literally just started watching like last week and just like binge watching it. So very, very good. The third show is Making the Cut. And the fourth show is The Great British Sewing Bee, and it's a BBC show, so it might not be so easy to access, but if you can find a way to get it, from what I heard, it's like recommended. And then the final sewing and fashion related TV show that I recommend is RuPaul's Drag Race, which it's not heavily focused on like sewing, but there are moments in there where they have to like sew their outfits and things like that. But I think it's still good for inspiration. And, if you're interested in the design aspect of sewing and fashion, then it's definitely a good one to check out. So that's it for sewing competition shows or fashion competition shows. Next, I'm going to move on to documentaries that are related to like fashion designers or fashion houses or history of fashion. And the first documentary that I recommend, and when I say recommend, let me just caveat that the recommendation is like based on my research. It's not that I necessarily saw any of these, but I just figured I would share what I found in my research. So the first one is McQueen, and it basically explores the life of the designer Alexander McQueen. The second one is Iris, and it pays tribute to the fashion icon Iris Apfel. Iris Apfel is the old lady that usually you see her with like these huge glasses, and she always has like this like really ornate jewelry. But that's Iris Apfel. And then the third one is The Eye Has to Travel. The fourth one is 7 Days Out, and that one is about, it basically goes on the journey 6 days leading up to Dior's show. And then the final documentary is called The True Cost. And if I remember correctly, the True Cost deals with like sustainability issues regarding fashion. Um, so that was that for fashion documentaries. Moving on to fashion movies, and more so like fictional fashion movies. There is Bright Star. There is How to Make an American Quilt, which features Maya Angelou. And I think Winona Ryder is in that, I think, but don't quote me on that, but I know for sure that Maya Angelou is in it. And then the third one is Phantom Thread. And then the fourth one is The Dressmaker. And that one features, like, if you're interested in garments from the 50s, you'll see like a lot of like 50s era type of costumes in that movie. And then now I will move on to some YouTube channels that I think are worth checking out if you are interested in sewing and fashion. Of course, I'm going to put my channel on there. Of course, how could I not, right? Self-love. If you haven't already checked out the rest of my channel, you should. I've got some super detailed sewing tutorials on my channel. And some of the tutorials are things that I make from scratch. So literally just take like a piece of fabric and then make something. And then I have other tutorials where I take something that's already existing and create something new from it. So I may take, like a skirt and turn it into like, I don't know, a tube top or something, right? So the channels that I recommend are Blueprint DIY, Kim Dave, With Wendy, of course. I feel like With Wendy is like a household name at this point. She's amazing. And then the final one is Little Toe. And there are others, but honestly, I didn't really take the time to like thoroughly map out this section. So maybe what I'll do is when I go back and do the description box, I will add more. So definitely take a look in the description box for a longer list of YouTube channels that I suggest you check out. And then in terms of podcasts, podcasts related to fashion and sewing and things of the like, there is Check Your Thread. There is Sewing with Thread. There is Seams, Dreams, and Small Business Things. That's one title. There is Stitch Please. There is So Organized Style. And then there is Just a History of Fashion. And that is it. I'm not going to do a recap just because I feel like you can go back and watch this video to get a sense of like the things that I mentioned. And like I said, I'm also going to put them in the description box so you can also check it out down there. I'm fighting for my life. I'm so tired. I'm tired and I need to shower because I literally just came straight from the gym and was like, let me do this live stream before midnight comes because I don't want to miss a day. So I'm like sweaty and bleh. So anyhow, that is it for me for today. Thank you for joining. If you haven't checked out the other videos from this live stream challenge, you definitely should. And I'm looking forward to returning tomorrow. And until then, I hope you are well wherever you are. And I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.